Good morning. September the 30th. That is the last day of the month. Good stuff. We made it. We made it through September. We made it through this year. I think I've said this before, and I was disappointed, but it looks like they're finally starting to open up Thailand, which is huge. You know, it's huge for the restaurant and guest house. It's huge for this town, Pai, which is a tourist town, which is for Thailand. I've been saying for a while now they really need to open up, wear a mask, stand 6 feet apart, all that ridiculous fucking hokey pokey bullshit that the government demands to see if it can keep its little soldiers in line. You know, it's all bullshit at this point. It really is. It pisses me off. But whatever. Just open the fucking country up. And that goes for America, too. So, October 8th, they're letting Chinese in. I'll do a whole nother video on this channel about the Chinese and what's going on. But basically, they've taken over from the U.S. as the world's #1 superpower. And they did it with, you know, economics and people. Just masses of freaking people, as opposed to, you know, a war. For years, people were afraid the Chinese were gonna, you know, their army is the same size as the U.S. population. So a lot of my friends were like, oh my God, the Chinese are gonna attack. No, they're smarter than that. They, you know, they've read The Art of War, and so should you. And by Sun Tzu, and it's a great book. And a lot of businessmen read that book, and so if you're an entrepreneur, that's required reading. You got to read The Art of War, and so they understand that there's more than one way to win a battle, and they've become the superpower through, you know, stealing technology, and you know, just being bigger than everybody else. One of my buddies, Mark Marcellus, that's his real name, seriously. Plays poker, and whenever he gets ahead, if he goes all in and he wins. You know, he picks his spots, goes all in relatively early, say in the first third of the night, and then if he doubles up, if he's out, he's out. He buys in and he starts again. But if he wins and he has big stack, he immediately starts steamrolling everybody and just, you know, it's still early, the blinds are low, and he'll just put these ridiculous raises in. And everybody will fold because they have marginal hands, or somebody will get tired of folding because they want action. They don't want to just sit there. The right way to play poker is be patient and sit there all night, but that's no fun. So especially when you're playing in a game like ours, which was a $10 game, you're going to go for it. You know, you're trying to draw a straight or a flush. You have a draw hand. You haven't made your hand yet, and you're going to take that raise. And he just takes the money and he just keeps plowing over and bullying, if you will, with this big stack. And you know, that's a right way to play poker. But it, you know, in a $10 game, you're like, what the hell are you doing? But whatever. He wants to win. I get it. I want to win too. So that's what China's doing. They're big stack. China's big stack. So let's talk about getting your head right so you can combat the evil Chinese empire taking over. The greatest of all success rules is this: do unto others as you would if you were the others. Yeah, the golden rule. That's how to live life, not just business. And here it says the golden rule. Imagine that. Which has been around forever. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Golden rule. The golden rule is more than a principle of ethical behavior. It is a dynamic force that can work good in the lives of untold numbers of people. When you make it a practice to treat others as though you were the others, you spread goodwill among people, who in turn may be moved to do the same. By their actions, they influence still more people, who generate goodwill among even more people. So it's geometric in the growth. That's why Facebook marketing, as much as I can't stand Zuckerberg and Facebook, it works because everybody has an average, I think I read, of 300 friends. I got like 4,000 friends. Do I even know who 90% of those people are? Hell no. You know, I just accepted the friend request or accepted the suggestions of friends, people you may know, like Facebook does, right? So I said yes, yes, yes for all these years, and now it's 4,300 friggin' friends. And really, I got 100 on there that I know, 200, something like that. People that I actually know, worked with, whatever, are real friends. So when you share to one of your friends, and then they have, once again, on average, 300 friends, and that number might be bigger now. That's an older number, I had from the past. The point is now you're not only reaching your 4,000 friends, but their group of friends, 300, 500,000, however many friends they have. Now, when they share, person A that you share to shares to person B, they'll share with their friends. So you can see it spiders out. So that's Facebook marketing. And this is kind of what he's talking about here. And treating people kindly, then they go on and are inspired to treat people kindly. A random act of kindness, if you ever heard of that, just helping people because, right? And then they'll be inspired to help people, and so on and so on, and it grows exponentially and geometrically. By their actions, they influence more people, generate goodwill among even more people. This force for goodwill increases exponentially and will return to you from totally new sources. The benefit you receive from a good deed performed today by a total stranger may have been a chain reaction from long ago when you observed the golden rule in your own dealings with others. So he's like, someday it will come back to you, and that day could be a while away. Absolutely. And the other thing is with leads. If you work with leads, you're mailing postcards or calling people, you need to have some kind of system, a tickler system, they call it tickler file, which reminds you, it crops up in 90 days, hey, give that person a call, reach out. Because one of my favorite things I teach to my agents is time and circumstance change everything. So a no today can become a yes in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year, 5 years. With real estate listings or real estate sales and investment, just because you send a postcard in May of 2020 doesn't mean you're going to get a contact or a lead or a deal in 2020 from that postcard. You might get a deal in April 2021. A deal's a deal. You really don't care when it comes. Your expectation in sending the card out is to get a deal this month or next month, but it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes that postcard will sit on somebody's countertop or desk or wherever they throw their mail, for a while, and then their circumstance changes and they want to sell and they got your postcard, unless they have another postcard coming in from another place that just mails out every month, like KP. He just bulk mails every month to lots of people. So, they might take the new card, they might take yours. It depends upon if you spoke to them or if there's something cool about your little postcard, your little mailer, your letter, handwritten, whatever. There's all different ways to do that. That's another topic for another day. So that's it. The Chinese are a superpower. They're going to be the first ones to come in. And when I say that too, last year, 2019, in Thailand, the last normal year, pre-COVID, pre-COVID, 1 out of every 4, actually a little bit more, 27% of the tourists that came to Thailand in 2019 were Chinese. So everything here is written in English. A lot of people speak English, so America, Great Britain, and the English-speaking countries, Australia, they were the majority here. They were the financial clout. American businesses, you see, in Chiang Mai, not here, you see McDonald's and KFC and crap like that. So Americans had from the 60s up until, I don't know, early 2000s, maybe as late as 08 or 09, America was the big superpower and was the guys that the Thai government got in bed with, and now it's the Chinese. It's changed. They've won Thailand. I don't know if they're going to win the world. We'll see. That's certainly their intention. I hope to God that it doesn't turn communist here, because I've seen that. I've seen what communism and even socialism, its weaker sister, does to countries. I've worked for the government in a lot of countries, and the socialist ones and the communist ones are, the people are not happy. Number one, you will not be happy if you get your wish and get a socialist government. you'll be miserable. Give it time. Once again, not right away. Give it a year, give it 2 years. Well, look at California. California is by and large socialist, and look at the Google, YouTube, the San Francisco, Los Angeles. They're tent cities. They got a huge homeless problem that's out of control, and the politicians aren't doing anything about it. They're ineffective, except asking for more money from the federal government. Well, that's not the answer. That doesn't fix the problem. So if you want to live in California, go ahead and vote socialist, Democrat. If you don't want to live in California, then vote Joe Jorgensen, libertarian, or Trump. And I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a MAGA. I don't have the little red hat. I'm not part of the little army who doesn't question him or worships him. But he's better than voting socialist. And once again, that's based on my personal experience. I only ever talk to you guys from personal experience, and I've been in countries that were absolute fucking hellholes, and people are dirt poor. Socialism, the idea is that everybody's equal, and it will lift the poor, working and non-working man and woman. In reality, that's the idea. In reality, it divides. There's a bigger gap than in capitalism and between the haves and the have-nots. It actually widens the gap in practice. In theory, it narrows the gap and makes everybody equal. It's this beautiful theory or idea, but in reality, no sir. Go to Venezuela. Don't take my freaking word for it. Go to Cuba. Go to Cuba. That's been communist a long time, and there's more poor people in Cuba than there are in Florida. They're very close to each other. Why? Why are there so many poor people and so many ghettos and so many rundown buildings and rundown cars and basic services like water and electric you can't rely on there and things like that? Why? If communism is so great and it works so well, why is Cuba a dump and Florida a destination for most of America? Riddle me that, Batman. So that's it for today, guys. Golden rule: be kind to others. There's the world, and I talk about Corona, I talk about China, I talk about immigration. There's the world, and then there's your world. So these positive action plans relate directly to your world and your little circle and people you influence and that are around you and in orbit around you. So the positive mental action is fix you. We can't really fix the world, but you can fix you and reach your goals. So that's it for today. It was a long one. Sorry, guys. Ramble on. I will speak with you later.